Let's get started here. Good morning, everyone. Beautiful Santa Monica. Good morning. I am Captain Saul Rodriguez, and on behalf of the men and women of the Santa Monica Police Department, I would like to welcome you to the swearing-in ceremony for Chief Ramon Batista, our 18th Police Chief for the City of Santa Monica and the Santa Monica Police Department. There'll be a lot of applause, Chief. In attendance, we have Mayor Sue Hemmelrich, Mayor Pro Tem Kristen McGowan. Let's see who else. City Manager David White, Deputy City Manager Anuj Gupta, Assistant City Manager Susan Klein. Also, Santa Monica Fire Chief Wolfgang Kanabi. From Culver City Police Department, thank you for joining us, gentlemen. Chief Manny Sid, Assistant Chief Jason Sims. From the Pasadena Police Department, we have Commander Art Shute. Welcome. Please stand for the presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. Following the Pledge of Allegiance, please remain standing for the invocation, which will be presented by Pastor Joe Montoya.
Reason on. Order up.
Thank you. Please place your right hand over your heart and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And thank you, Pastor Montoya. If you can please come up.
Let us pray. Eternal God, who has brought your people across the generations, we open ourselves to your presence in this moment of the newness for our city. We are grateful for the freedom in which we have been able to choose a new police chief, Ramon Batista, for the city of Santa Monica. We thank you for Chief Batista and his family. We pray that you move on him, Lord, to be a faithful steward of his post. Grant him a sensitive heart, a clear mind, a willing spirit, and an active courage. Lord, bless his total family and this city, Lord, that he will lead. Grant us the gift to be a place of peace and the generosity to be a people of welcome. In your name, we will swear in our 18th Chief of Police in our city today, Ramon Batista. Set his feet in this good office that he might serve wisely with both caution and risk, and always to your glory. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Joe Montoya. Everyone may be seated if you have a seat. And I'd like to recognize that Councilmember Gleam Davis is here as well. Thank you for attending. Now I'd like to call up Deputy Chief Darrick Jacob.
Good morning. Welcome to the City of Santa Monica and the swearing-in ceremony for the Santa Monica Department's 18th Police Chief, Ramon Batista. Chief Batista was born in Los Angeles and grew up in Tucson, Arizona. He pursued his dream of becoming a police officer and began his law enforcement career with the Tucson Police Department in 1986, working his way through the ranks in patrol, traffic division, the police academy, public informations, investigations, an executive officer, an executive lieutenant, patrol captain, SWAT hostage, air unit K-9 commander, chief of staff, investigations bureau chief, and Chief of Bureau Patrol, where he had oversight of care of 600 personnel. In 2017, Chief Batista was appointed as the police chief of the Mesa, Arizona Police Department, with a budget of $188 million and over 1,200 members. Chief Batista was recognized for his leadership in forging stronger bonds between the police and its citizens, collaborating with community and department members in the co-creation of new policies and procedures that promoted transparency, trust, and protected the citizens and police officers. As the chief of Mesa, he led the way in innovative programs aimed at improving officer wellness and resilience from stressors of the public safety profession. Throughout his career, Chief Batista focused on evidence-based practices and problem-oriented solutions. Chief Batista merges his experimental knowledge and academic training to dig into the issues to find long-term solutions that are long-lasting. The experience he has gained throughout his career has now brought him back to Southern California, where he's being sworn in as the leader of the Santa Monica Police Department. At this time, I'd like to introduce Santa Monica Mayor Sue Himmelrich to the podium.
Thank you, Captain Jacob. How's that? It is a pleasure to be here as we swear. Is this, hold on.
I don't want to break it. There you go.
Oh, perfect.
Better?
Yes,
Sorry
and
about
I
the
didn't
flag.
want to break it either. Thank you. Everybody will have to readjust after me, of course. Thank you, Captain Rodriguez. I'm sorry, and thank you, Captain Rodriguez. It's a pleasure to be here today as we swear in our new police chief, Ramon Batista. We all know Santa Monica is a special place. We are surrounded by Los Angeles on three sides, but we know when we're home in Santa Monica because it feels like just another day in paradise when we're here. One of the reasons Santa Monica feels so special is the work of our police department. Day in and day out, our officers and civilian staff report to work and strive to keep our community safe and welcoming. For this, we all thank you, and let's have a little applause for our police department. Chief Batista, I want to welcome you to our special place. The police department you will lead is among the best because our officers aspire, towards a benchmark of excellence that builds lasting and trusting relationships with our community, is trustworthy and collaborative in all they do, innovates and is willing to change, and most importantly, furthers our commitment to being a community that cares. As you are sworn in today, on behalf of all of the Santa Monica City Council, I offer you our confidence, our support, and our best wishes to you as you take on the role of championing our tradition of excellence alongside the department you lead. We have a lot of good work and good trouble ahead of us, and on behalf of the entire council, we look forward to a long and successful collaboration with you and the dedicated officers of the Santa Monica Police Department. Thank you very much, and thanks for joining us here.
You have the cadets up here real quick. Thank you, Mayor Himmelrich. I would like to acknowledge that Council Member Lana Negrete has joined us. Welcome. And now I would like to call up our city manager, David White, for a few words.
Good morning. Let me try that again. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Excellent. Really happy to be here. Nice to see you. It's a beautiful Santa Monica morning, and I couldn't ask for a better place in the world to be than here with you right now. It has been an honor to get to know Chief Batista through the rigorous selection process. What struck me about you, Chief, is the genuine kindness and thoughtfulness with which you interact with those around you and your tremendous preparation for the many interviews that you endured. It felt as if you were ready to hit the ground running from the moment I met you, and I mean that with all sincerity. Your genuine care for the people you serve and the department you lead makes you a perfect fit for our city. The values that you hold dear align with our mission to continue to build strong relationships with the community while reducing crime. And it aligns with the exceptional service that our police department has been delivering to this community over the past 125 years. Thank you to all of our Santa Monica police officers and civilian staff who serve this community with excellence every day, many who are here today. And I want to take a moment, so please indulge me in taking a moment to show our gratitude to all of the individuals that have been part of the Santa Monica Police Department legacy. And please, retired, current employees, I would appreciate it if you could please stand so we could see you and acknowledge you. Thank you. As we arrive at this celebratory and hopeful moment, we must also acknowledge the unique difficulties of the past 2 years. We've been through a lot. And through it all, one thing is undeniably clear. The employees of the Santa Monica Police Department love this community, take pride in their work, and it is a department that perseveres. And now we have a leader joining the department who has proven to rise to the occasion and to lean into the tough moments to heal, grow, collaborate for a stronger tomorrow. It is in this spirit we are all thrilled to welcome Chief Ramon Batista. As we all get to know you, Chief, over the coming days and weeks, here's a bit more on his background. And a little bit of this was shared by Deputy Chief Jacob, but I'd like to reiterate just so we all really get familiar with your history. He was born in Los Angeles. He began his career with Tucson PD in 1986 and worked his way through the ranks and filled many roles, including the Assistant Chief of Police. In 2017, he was appointed as the police chief in Mesa, Arizona. He's been recognized for his leadership skills and forging strong bonds with the community. He's the co-author of the book, Do No Harm, published in October 2020, that hones in on the steps police departments can take to align police actions with community values. As you've heard, he will be Santa Monica's 18th Chief of Police. And he will be the city's first Latino chief, reflecting my commitment and the organization's commitment to build a diverse workforce that represents the community. Finally, and most importantly, he is married to Anina Batista, and they have 2 children, Anne-Marie and Anthony, and a beautiful grandchild, Addison. Thank you for being in attendance today. And those of you watching virtually know that the life of a police chief is not easy. And it is important to recognize, for all of us to recognize Anina and the entire Batista family. Chief, we can't do what we do without the support of our families. So I would like to ask everyone here to join me in a very strong round of applause for Chief Batista's family, with the understanding, Anina, and my solemn promise to you that we are all here for you and your family. Chief Batista, you shared that you dreamed about becoming a police officer as a young boy. It is truly amazing and humbling to be standing here with you today as you continue to live your dream and be sworn in as our next Chief of Police. For 35 years, you have served the public and law enforcement, and as the newest member of the Santa Monica Police Department, we know that you will wear the police department's badge with pride. In that vein, I want to express my commitment to you and your family to be a reliable partner to not only yourself, but to the entire police department. I honor and value the work of the police department, and selecting a police chief of your caliber is a reflection of my values. Thank you. for rising to the challenge and working alongside me to lead an exceptional department in a city that doesn't settle for anything less than excellence. With warmth and a whole lot of enthusiasm, Chief, I welcome you to the city of Santa Monica. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. White. And now I would like to introduce Santa Monica City Clerk Denise Anderson Warren, Chief Ramon Batista, his wife Anina, and their daughter Anne Marie for the oath of office and badge pinning.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and then say your name,
I, Ramon Batista,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of Arizona,
California.
California,
No. Six, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Santa Monica Police Chief
of Santa Monica Police Chief
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now the badge pinning. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Ramon Batista, Santa Monica Police Department.
Oh, good morning. I want to start off by thanking everyone that's here with us today, both in person and virtually. I'd like to very quickly recognize the members of the Santa Monica Police Department that have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to have this terrific morning. So to Lieutenant Rudy Flores, to Miss Belen Sahagun, to Misha Morrison, to Jennifer Estrada, and to our Community Affairs Unit, a round of applause and thank you for doing this morning. Thank you very much. I also want to welcome the members of our Public Safety Reform and Oversight Commission. I sincerely look forward to working with you in the future. I want to express that it is a great honor to have been selected to be the police chief for the city of Santa Monica. My sincere thanks and appreciation to City Manager David White, our Mayor Sue Himmelrich, and our council for the opportunity to join the family and lead the great men and women of this department. I want to acknowledge my family. You heard a brief introduction, but I wanted to say thanks to my youngest sister who traveled here from Tucson, Arizona. That's where I had the Arizona in my head. Our daughter, who came all the way across the country to be with us, and my two cousins, lifelong Angelinos. And there are many more, by the way, because as you've heard, I was born in Los Angeles, and I've always been very, very proud of my birth city. And yes, I've been a lifelong Dodgers fan since childhood. but I specifically wanted to say a few words about my wife, Nina. I wouldn't be here today without her if it wasn't for her love, her caring, and her guidance. Her quick wit is really only a part of what keeps me on my toes and focused on what matters. So to my dear wife, I love you and thank you. I also want to acknowledge retiring Chief Jacqueline Seabrooks. I got to spend only a fraction of time that I wanted to with Chief Seabrooks. Regardless, I owe her a debt of gratitude. I know that I am coming into an organization that is ahead of the national curve, one whose foundation is solid. This is due in large part to the people that are here and to her steady leadership and guidance. So, Chief, wherever you are and wherever your travels take you, our sincere thanks to you for your many years and dedication and service to the city of Santa Monica. I come to the city of Santa Monica with over 3 decades of extensive practice in public safety, one that has been forged through practical experience and academic training. Importantly, one shaped by my lived experience as a police officer for 1/3 of my career, understanding and living the life of an everyday officer, dealing with the challenges of navigating the police culture and the bureaucracy, and importantly, the criminal justice system that we did not create. For any officer on any given day, it is a world that can be filled with solitude, followed by sheer crisis. However, we know, and they know, that at the end of the day, they selected this career. The amazing part of this is that day in and day out, they're guided by something inside them, a heart of service. I come to you, to this community, to our officers, with a heart of service. Service that is grounded in my experience and belief that our utmost charge in policing is safeguarding people's lives and providing public safety. It will always be a priority and of great importance to me and to our police department that you feel safe every day living and enjoying your life in the city of Santa Monica. And how do we measure that? Is it surveys? Is it reported crime data? Is it that feeling you get when you're walking around? Or, as I was reminded recently, is it seeing folks in the middle of the night walking their small pet, looking into their phone, and I don't recommend that. Is it saying hello to a stranger or your neighbor? Is it seeing our officers and professional staff walking around, riding their bicycle, driving by? I think it's all those things and much more. It includes the hardworking city council that stays late into the night, finding and working together to find the best solutions for our community. It's our city's departments and infrastructure. It's the societal ties that all work collaboratively to form the bond that is the fabric of safety in this community. We are a diverse and thriving and busy community, and I know that crime happens even in the best of circumstances. My vision is that when our officers or professional staff are called, you will meet a Santa Monica police officer that represents courage, understanding, empathy, authority, and the necessary quick thinking and bravery to handle the full spectrum of the issues that can happen to any one of us. My vision is that if any one of our officers or professional staff are randomly asked, "What is your purpose here?" they will, without skipping a beat, talk about the role of public safety in our society. That at its most basic level, we are charged with your safety, and that we will protect your rights, and that we will accomplish this very important mission and calling in a way that is effective and efficient, while being thoughtful and considerate, because we are dealing with human beings, and that at the end of the day, we understand and recognize foremost that this careful balance of ensuring public safety in our democracy cannot be accomplished without the community's support and acknowledgement. Over the past year, our profession has experienced a shakeup and a reawakening regarding serious issues in policing. Here, in Santa Monica, and let me emphasize that, here in Santa Monica, the philosophy of service, strong values, and a desire to serve with honor are wholeheartedly embedded in the culture of the Santa Monica Police Department. In the years to come, we will continue the work of collaboration with you, of building trust and legitimacy through transparency. We will work with you and our city partners to find long-lasting solutions to our pressing issues. In Santa Monica, we will do this together, and I can't wait to get started. And frankly, I can't wait to get out there and meet all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. And on behalf of Santa Monica Police Department, I would like to thank you for joining us and invite you for refreshment and pastries in the courtyard directly behind me. So you can go through the double doors here and go into City Hall, and we have the courtyard available for everyone. Thank you for joining us. Have a great morning.